Sure to download and subscribe to the podcast, The Craig Carton Show, and watch us on YouTube. And enjoy Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see you Monday.
The outline for Koepka are fantastic. I think it's perfect. It is punitive, but it's fair. You've got to levy some sort of fine, so to speak, for defecting, and I think they've done a wonderful job of being equitable and punishing him a bit at the same time. I think Brooks ultimately wants to be playing with the best.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Class is in session. Today, let's talk about the teaser. A teaser is a multi-leg bet where you shift the point spread in your favor. You get better numbers, but every selection has to win. It doesn't matter what you bet if you don't have the insights. Tune into SportsGrid and get ahead of the class.
New York Giants. They fired their head coach, Brian Daboll. Now, they did that during the season. Harbaugh is the favorite by a wide margin. Looking at Kalshi right now, Joe, 56% chance. 56 that he's the coach. The guy behind him is Kevin Stefanski at 25%. Is this look like it's just a Harbaugh spot? And if not, why is Harbaugh waiting until Monday? Does he want to see if something else opens up? But it looks like he's the heavy favorite and probably will get the job.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
Memphis is shopping John Morant. Yeah, no kidding. They should have shopped him 2 years ago and got rid of him. The problem is, where does he go? Like, what team is going to sit there and deal with a dude who, A, has not been healthy or reliable both on the court or off the court? Like, who's trading for John Morant here, Coach?
The Early Line, only on Sports.
Pro Football Today! Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi.
They put us in the nut house.
Here we go!
How many hours to kickoff?
One.
I wish.
When are you watching? Right, I'll give you a band. Anywhere from 72 to not that many. Listen, what do you like in this game here? Give me a pick.
You want a pick?
Come out the gates.
How about the over? How about we go with the over?
Let me
How
see.
about points aplenty? You want a band? How about my band is anywhere from 50 to 65? How about that band? Huh?
Not bad. We've been talking some alt totals throughout the week.
A lot of wheels out there, I'll say that. Been scrolling social media. Everybody's a guru. Everybody's a wheel.
I'll say
they got it all figured out.
Ear to the ground.
Yeah.
Ear to the ground.
You don't use a cup?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
You should raw dog it.
Okay.
I hear way more about this under than this over.
Really?
That's what I'm hearing.
Wow. And we talked about
Sharks are circling.
That's it. Blood in the water. Jaws 2, 3, and 5. We skipped 4 and 1. That's I love it. I think we're gonna have points aplenty.
This
a lot
total,
of people
though, still really sitting 45 and a half.
Yeah, it's a Super Bowl feeling out process. A lot of people, I think, are gonna say that New England may, with Drake May, be a little conservative.
Mm-hmm.
I say they take the governor off. I think they got to push a little bit of tempo. I think they need this kid in a rhythm early.
You think he throws 2 touchdowns?
Yeah, I think that's...
Add it to my card, plus 130.
Right.
Love Drake May over the 1.5. Love Drake May over the 1.5.
Okay, all right. Listen,
Drake May.
I need him. He's got to help. It can't be a one-man show.
Well,
I need Drake May to contribute if you're backing the over. Yeah, it's just the bottom line.
Oh, he's going to have to do a lot more than contribute. You and this whole Seattle starts at 24. Really?
I don't know. I think if you could go back on the tape and listen to every word I said. I never said where Seattle starts at 24. I think they can get easily to 24. But I didn't. Where do I say? Oh, maybe I did. They're gonna get 24 or bust.
Well, I guess to be fair, I might
35-24 is my final score.
Whoa,
59.
Whoa.
I told you that.
Give it a hold on.
35-24 Seattle.
Hold on a sec. All right, so let's really, because we have time to change these final scores, so I'm going to be chipping away at changing that score. 35 for Seattle?
Yeah, again with this, why?
Really? I mean, you're
I don't know. Is Teddy Bruschi walking out there that I don't know?
Is Josh Allen on the other side of the field?
I don't know.
Who's playing quarterback for Seattle?
Sam Darnold.
Okay.
That's what they call him in New York. I keep telling you, they didn't know it was Darnold. They used to go, Sam Darnold? Sam Darnold?
I don't know if that entirely happened. That's all right. How many times do you think that this Patriots defense has given up more than 30 points on the year? 20 games they've played.
One was to Josh.
Okay.
Did Baker get there? He got high 20s.
23.
Yeah, but they put up 35.
No, is the answer.
The answer is no.
The answer is no. So it's happened once where they gave up more than 30.
You the game, Josh Allen.
And it was, which great by you, but
No,
it's become abundantly clear throughout this week.
Yeah.
And this is what I have to do as the secret Bills guy that I am. The secret Josh Allen guy that I am.
Oh, your secret?
No, because people think they're like, hey, you're against Josh Allen. What they realize is I'm actually just trying to swat away those who allow this negativity to creep in by doing too much to prop him up.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone keeps thinking Sam Darnold is Josh Allen. That's what I'm seeing.
No, come on. Stop. They're not saying that. What they're saying is
35.
But that I don't understand. What you're saying is you still haven't seen enough, and you're not putting any weight that Seattle has potentially best wide receiver, best player on the field. Now, we talked about this matchup, Christian Gonzalez versus JSN. It's going to be a war.
Yep.
Who's going to win? Ultimately, you can make the argument we'll win this matchup and potentially cover.
Yep.
Right? Okay. But, I mean, JSN has been as good, like Jerry Rice, basically, over the last month and a half of the season. Every game, I mean, he's 100 yards.
Yeah, Jay, he's incredible.
Okay.
But Jackson Smith and Jigba he had a game this year where he had 124 yards and they scored 13 points. I don't think that's not the corollary for me. He had a game where he had 113. They scored 18 points. So I don't know. I think he's allowed to have 100 yards and this team not score 35.
I disagree. I think the way...
So you got JSN scoring 2 touchdowns?
No.
1 touchdown?
I don't want JSN to score. He can have his yards. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are some parlays where I did throw in the chalk. But I'm looking for all second. Give me the big, the Bobos, the Kyle Williams, the Cam Akers.
Bobo.
Cam Akers, 18-1. Give me those guys. What?
The love for the Seattle offense is overwhelming.
All I've been hearing is Drake May this, Drake May that on the show. From you.
Right. But when we bring people in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you feel we brought in a copious amount of folks who have told you that Drake May is going to have this monster game?
No, and we talked about that too, that everybody that picks New England with the spread, the 4.5, ultimately thinks it's going to be a lower scoring game. And that's what I told you. I disagree.
Right.
I think both teams can eat. But I just think that the way Seattle's playing right now in the passing attack, I feel more confident with Darnold than I do May. But that I'm still not, again, I keep saying this, I'm not tacking May at 88 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. I have May 230, 240. He's going to eat.
Right. See, again, of course he is. Right? To me, the guy who just finished second in MVP.
All right, with the MVP.
Narrowly. Oh, you know what? You're right. That doesn't matter. It's what did you do literally in your last game? That's all that matters. And Sam Darnold in his last game had his best game, so that's just what he's going to obviously do again. Right?
No. I said to you, the difference between Darnold this year and Darnold last year is that when he was bad, he imploded.
Yeah.
And this year, when he has faced adversity, right?
Oh, I'm not going to agree with this at all.
All right, so this will be a healthy debate. This is what we do on this desk.
Yep.
When he had the 4-interception performance, and they lost that game 21-19 to the Rams in L.A.? Did he not still battle back and put his team in a position to potentially steal that game? Yes or no?
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of stuff that happened
I just want to know.
He went interception, punt, and then threw a back-breaking interception, and then Shaheed saved the day. So he started to once again go inside himself.
No. I'm talking about the 21-19 game.
It was horrific. He was literally awful.
Right, but he still put his team in a position. He was bad.
Barely.
All right, but
he threw 4 interceptions.
Okay,
I'm sorry. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about Sam Darnold.
Can I continue?
Threw 4 interceptions.
Then the second half, second half of the LA game.
Wow.
He
must be nice.
He pulls it out.
Must be nice.
Can I?
No, really, it is. It's got to be nice.
You see, this is it. Disagree with Kev, and you're not going to. He put his team in a position, right, down double digits, and they won the game, and he led the game-tying drive, and he led the game-winning drive at home on that prime time, and then he outduels Matt Stafford flawlessly. So that is the difference. He's battle-tested this year. Right. He stepped up. Drake May started like a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Drake May, next thing of Tom Brady. Here we go, second coming. And then all of a sudden, the training wheels fell off in the playoffs. We don't know who we're getting. I don't know if he's consistent. The only person that thinks that Drake May is consistent is you. I still think he can get over his total.
Yep.
But if we're talking both quarterbacks, give me Sam Darnold.
Yeah, no, listen, hey, and this is what I always say. When one quarterback finished top 2 in MVP and the other led the league in turnovers, you got to take the guy that led the league in turnovers. This is
when
LeBron, so fun.
When LeBron.
Oh, you better watch it. You better watch it. We're going out to San Fran next.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Andrei Arlovski. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying
right?
that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro football today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi, we make the move out to San Francisco where our guy, Sweatpants Jesus, is hanging in the mix. SPJ, what is going on, man? How's San Francisco treating you?
Just absolutely incredible, man. I came from Nashville to fly here earlier this week, obviously with the ice storms and everything. Got off the plane. 60 degrees, sunshine, and that Super Bowl Christmas in the air. So it's been a fantastic week. Obviously very busy here. We've been doing a lot of interviews, lots of incredible content that we've been putting together. It's been a madhouse, as you know, here on Media Row. But it's been a hell of a time, and it's only going to continue as we get closer and closer to Super Bowl 60 on Sunday.
Now, SPJ, I want to just get an idea with out there, all the people that you've spoke to. Have you started to get a sense of what people are, what the popular side in this game, or even the total? Are you hearing a ton of Seattle, a ton of over? What are you guys hearing?
My mother, my grandmother, every single person in this building, maybe some people outside, are all on the Seahawks. So it's literally Seahawks. I know the money dropped today too with the 70% handle as well. So seems like the world's in the same thing, but that's the same thing here in San Francisco. Everybody we've been talking to kind of leans with the Hawks here. I don't know if that's Patriot hatred maybe, or if it's just the fact of where they think that this is the better football team top to bottom. But don't count out the Patriots here. I personally don't really have a dog in the hunt specifically. I kind of think that the Seahawks might get the job done. The 4.5 is a little bit of a tough number for me. But yeah, from what we've been speaking to with some guests that we've had on the show, we talked to Sean Alexander, a Seahawks great Hall of Famer, MVP, and what's he gonna say, right? I like the Patriots. However, it was interesting talking to Sean. He's a big Drake May guy. So it was like talking with him, listening to him talk about his relationship with Drake May. And you could see the sparkle in his eye kind of talking about the young stud quarterback. But his heart will always go with the Seahawks. So even guests we've had, even just walking around, getting the vibe from people here, even though there's a little bit of we're in that vicinity, even though it's 49er Nation here in San Francisco, it seems like Seahawks are getting all the love.
So, SPJ, you talked to Baker, right? So I'm curious about what Baker thought about both quarterbacks. Darnold, obviously, he went up against Darnold, did give them the loss 38-35. Did he break down the quarterback perspective?
Yeah, Kaufman asked him a little bit about his relationship with Sam Darnold. He had a really awesome things to say about Sam, first name basis, as they've been teammates in certain situations, very similar track in the NFL, obviously, in their path. But he kind of didn't really go super deep into what he was expecting from both of these guys, but he's expecting an incredible game between two guys that have never been on this stage before. We're going to see a guy second year in the league, and Drake May obviously just came up a vote short yesterday in the MVP voting. I heard you guys kind of chatting about that a little bit. I'll let you guys yell about that in a minute a little more, but yeah, and he obviously has a lot of love for Sam and what he's been able to do. Obviously, Minnesota last year coming in and doing the same kind of stuff in Seattle. For me, looking at the Seattle situation with Sam Darnold, my biggest thing that I'm looking forward to on Sunday is what both of these quarterbacks are going to come to the table with. This is the biggest stage in all of sports. This is the biggest game of both of their careers, young for May and a little bit further down the line for Darnold. But I know that's kind of a little bit not really incredible analysis, but I'm fascinated to see which one of these guys is going to rise to the occasion, or if it's going to be the defenses that are kind of the ones that are shining at the party. But I think Sam Darnold and Drake May are going to have to put their best foot forward in this game. And I think that Sam Darnold isn't going to be in a situation where, I don't know about you guys, but watching him in the NFC Championship game, before that, I don't think I would have had the confidence to say this guy can go win a Super Bowl. But what he did in the NFC Championship game, how he carried that football team, because there's been stretches of the season he's had those bad interception games. He's had he has not had spectacular experiences. He's kind of fallen when the lights are the brightest. But in that game, he outdueled Matthew Stafford. He was the reason why the Seattle Seahawks won that game. And to see him do that on that stage in the biggest game in his career at that point makes me feel confident going into the biggest game of his career that maybe Darnold's got the stuff, man. We're going to find out.
Yeah, we certainly are, SPJ, but I know it's been busy out there. How much of a card have you been able to build for Super Bowl 60? How many bets have you already been able to place on this game? I know you had a few last time we spoke last week.
Yeah, to be honest with you, and this is maybe not great advertising, I don't really like betting the Super Bowl that much. I like talking about it. I like kind of getting involved with it and maybe doing some here and there betting. But for me, it's just such a massive game. The spreads are so sharp. The lines are so sharp because it is the biggest sporting event of the year. Not a massive fan of betting it myself. Lean very heavily with the Seattle Seahawks. I talked to you about this when we talked last week, Kevin, that I have a bet that is for either a defensive touchdown or a special teams touchdown. I think both of those units have a chance to have a quick turnover, maybe a scoop and score situation. Maybe somebody gets in the backfield. Drake May, with what we've seen with his fumbling problems in the playoffs. Maybe Sam Darnold does throw one of those bad interceptions and it's a pick six. I got plus 200 on that before I left Nashville earlier this week. But I also bet the Patriots before the Broncos game at plus 240 to win the Super Bowl. I thought that'd be the best price available at that point to have some skin on the Pats side of things. So I'm kind of riding that ticket. But sitting here looking at the game itself, I just feel like the Seattle Seahawks are the more deep team. I feel like that's the better team. So the card's not super deep for me. I've been very busy out here trying to just get as many interviews and content as possible. But I do have a little bit of skin in the game, hoping that we just get a pick six or maybe Rashid Shaheed runs back the first kickoff, and then I cash my bet to start it off.
Yeah, SPJ, listen, man, it's going to be fun. Don't worry. We'll handle then all the betting for the Super Bowl stuff.
Yeah, you guys can do that.
Just before we let you go, we appreciate it. Just remind people where they can check a lot of the stuff that you, Adam, and Danny have been doing out there this week in San Francisco.
Absolutely. I know there's going to be some hits for you guys here on SportsGrid of some clips from the interviews that we've done. Like I said, we talked to Sean Alexander, Terrell Davis. We've had incredible interviews that are all across the network. We're also going to be on our network, the Betting News Network. You can go check out our YouTube at Your Betting News on YouTube. You can watch the full-length interviews. Danny actually just did an interview with Kyle Long, Bears Great. That's going to be up a little bit later today. So there's going to be a lot of content over there. I know you guys are going to be rolling some here on SportsGrid too. So, yeah, go check them out. It was really cool to sit down with some of these guys because – they go through so many interviews and talk through so many things. And, some of them didn't even want to talk about the game specifically. Some of them just wanted to talk about ball, talk about seasons, talk about what they've experienced previously, their relationships with some of the players and things like that. So my favorite of all the interviews that we did, not a football one specifically, I got to sit down with the UFC champ, Henry Cejudo. Which I'm a big UFC guy. It was awesome to sit down with him. I mean, I'm 6'5", and sitting next to him, I was looking at my eye, and we stood up and took a picture, and I was like, "What's up, dude? How's it going?" Yeah,
big dog Cejudo.
Hands of granite. Man. He's got hands of granite.
Yeah, I mean, he was pumping them up there too, man. But yeah, there's some great stuff on there. Go check it out on YouTube, like I said, at Your Betting News, and I'm sure you guys are gonna be running some stuff here on SportsGrid too.
Yeah, absolutely, we will. SPJ live out there in San Francisco, getting ready for Super Bowl 60 between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. It is going to be a lot of fun, and again, they've been doing some great work, so make sure you check out everything that they have been doing. Lisi and I are going to take a peek at that Anytime Touchdown market after the break here on SportsGrid.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Cooper Kupp, anytime touchdown.
No shot.
Really?
Yeah. You want to start?
Really?
Yeah, we've been here way too long. As this is played out, I'm just going to start to Billy Club everything you like this week. That's it. No shot.
Hold on a second. All right.
Cooper's Kupp.
Let's dance then for a second, shall we?
Sure.
Kenneth Walker. Does he make your card or no?
You know, I hate taking. We had some wind in the studio. Apologize. It's been Arctic freeze coming through the Northeast. I don't like taking chalk, that chalky with Kenneth Walker and even Stevenson on both sides. I personally believe, and I like to get the, I like to take the pass catchers.
All right, so Walker, Stevenson are out.
For me, yeah.
JSN?
Yeah.
He's out.
No, I'm not going to bet
out?
him. He's not out. I think it's a viable option when the guy gets that many targets and how they look to get him free in the red zone. It's not a bad look.
We'll go into tiers, all right? So of Walker, JSN, Stevenson, you would be most interested in JSN.
Correct.
I would be most interested in Stevenson of that bunch. I think that would be the most interesting.
No, it doesn't shock me.
Screen pass.
Right.
You know.
Thankfully, you're not on the Hall of Fame committee because you'd have him in next year based off.
I mean, quite frankly, would it be any more of a disgrace than not letting in Big Bill Belichick?
Probably not. I'll give you
next tier. Next tier.
Cat.
Barner, Diggs, Henry, Cup, May. What do you like?
Barner.
Come on.
What? Why not?
You don't like Barner.
I do like Barner.
Do you?
Yes.
I have no interest in Barner.
Oh, you just made the card
Go
for
ahead.
me.
I'll be honest with you. I don't like Barner one bit.
Okay, I like Barner.
I'm not interested in Barner.
Okay, fine.
So you like Barner?
Yes.
Doesn't do it for me.
Okay, go to the next tier.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not going to the next tier. I think Diggs can get there. I prefer Hunter Henry. I think Henry's
I like
very
Henry
live
too.
skiller
Plus
in this
240.
game. 250. Look around.
Look around. Shop around 10 cents, 20 cents. He's in the area of plus 250, depending upon
I like
the books.
Cooper Kupp as well. I think Cooper Kupp's very live to score.
Look,
multiple Super Bowl touchdowns under his belt. Because I'm not as in on JSN scoring. Both of these teams, by the way, far more passing than rushing touchdowns allowed. So I would expect more through the air.
Plus the front sevens of how good both front sevens are, and they've been stuffed Denver, stuffed. Obviously, Kyron, and think about how L.A. scored. It was Kyron, but it was in the passing game, and they threw him a swing pass, remember? Kyron didn't get there between the tackles, neither did Blake.
Right.
So
May, I don't like.
I can't do May again. Unless, maybe he gets there. I'm betting against it just because, look, he would need a running like they'd have to be playing man inside the 10-yard line. And
I'll just say this: if I were to play May anytime, I would go greedy and parlay it with him to throw to. That's if I were to do it. That I would be more, or I would play the total touchdown market.
Okay,
which we've talked about the
2.5,
the 3. You can play. You can get 2 like a last look minus 118. Like
okay,
but I agree with you. Next grouping. Kayshon Boutte, plus 330. Shaheed, 370. Let's throw these other. Mac Hollins, Trevion Henderson. Let's throw.
I like that. I like Henderson.
Seattle defense, Halani.
I like Henderson. I saw him as high as, he was as high as plus 500, but he's plus 470 last time I checked.
Yeah, at one book.
All right, one book. I like Boutte. I like both of those guys. I think one of those guys does, in fact, hit pay dirt on Sunday.
You're not interested in Hollins too much. He's a little outside the range.
You know why? Because I was on him in the championship game.
Okay.
And I was happy to get that at 51. I had him for 50.
Yeah.
And he just got there. But I wasn't honestly, I wasn't too excited how we got there. He had the one big catch, and I'm like,
okay, that's interesting. This isn't a
put it this way. I was on Shaheed too, and I wasn't happy.
I
got that by a yard. I had Shaheed for 50 and Hollins for 50. They both got 51, and I felt like it was on 2 plays.
Yeah, I don't love this tier. I will also say there is a price gap. I do not care. I will never, ever, ever, ever bet a defensive touchdown on FanDuel. I'm not doing it. I take the special teams with it on other books. So. Just with that, be careful.
Okay.
Let me sneak in the other under 10 to 1s. Douglas, Cooper, Pat's defense / special teams is interesting to me, but no Douglas, no Hooper, no Halani.
I sort of like a Hooper a little.
I
just
hate it,
if you like Henry,
I should probably.
You have to. You have to, Kev.
Okay, you might have sold me on that.
Hooper.
Let's talk to our guy Matt Fontana after the break. Get some picks from him.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bond. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying
Right?
that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh and Joe Lisi. Now joined by our guy, Matt Fontana, who does an excellent job covering all things Cleveland sports. And Super Bowl Cleveland sports, I'm not going to make the joke. That's about as far as I'll go with it. But the one thing that Matt does is I feel occasionally kind of slip in little things that let me know he is a better. I know he can't wait for some Jose Ramirez, Stephen Kwan run-scored parlays a little bit later on in the baseball season. But, Matt, give me an idea. Have you already placed some, or are there some things you're looking at to bet for Super Bowl 60?
Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, I'm really hot on the Blue Jackets right now on the hockey side. Like, I'm a big Blue Jackets fan, and they're 10-1 under Rick Bowness, so that's easy 3-leg parlays. Just do Zach Rowinski 2 shots, Kent Johnson 1 shot, Jackets win or minus a puck and a half on the puck line, and we're doing all right this week on that. Don't ask me about my Cavs parlays. But, yeah, for the game, you know, I'm excited for Sunday because I think as a lot of people are looking at the defenses and just, you know, how good they are and kind of expecting some shutdowns and, all right, what are you going to do? Both quarterbacks battling different injuries. I know they're off their injury report and things like that, but you know, these are also offenses that can put up a lot of points. So I think one of my favorite ones was some of the, I don't want to say alternative, but like one of them was 50 yards in each half for Stephon Diggs and Jackson Smith-Njigba, or 25 yards in each half for Ramondre Stevenson and Kenneth Walker. I parlayed a bigger one, too, to kind of throw that in because I'm interested to see how that goes. I really like Hunter Henry as a sneaky anytime touchdown in this one. And I'm also going to put a little bit on Drake May to score a touchdown using his legs. And a lot of people are thinking about his running props. If the shoulders bother him, is he going to run a lot? I could see him trying to sneak one in down there as well. So, yeah, I'm really excited. Like, obviously, it's the big game everybody looks forward to. But I think there's going to be more points. Like, you know, that 45.5, like, That's right about where I would have put it, and I think obviously if everybody's watching the game for entertainment, I'm going to take the over as well.
So, Matt, I do still want to ask you a couple of things, though, with Cleveland football. We got the official word that Jim Schwartz was going to hand in the resignation, which didn't come as too much of a surprise, but with that news kind of finalized now, where does it land for you?
I mean, I would say it's what I expected. I think it's what the Browns probably expected, and I'm assuming very much that Todd Monken, as soon as he got announced, was already working on who his DC might be. Like, it's one of those things. I'm going to do the work, and if Jim Schwartz comes back, great, but odds were telling you he was not going to come back. I mean, I think at this point for Jim Schwartz, at 59, this might have been his last shot at being a head coach. He felt like he was strong in the position to do it. Half the team defense really loved him. They respected him a lot. He didn't get the job. I wouldn't stick around either. And I know people, he's under contract. That's never stopped anybody ever. Like they will, obviously he resigned. I don't think I think it'd just be bad PR on the Browns side of things to really kind of hold things up. It sounds like he's just going to take the year off because all the other jobs are pretty much, scooped up. But it was no shock, and I think Todd Monken really no shock, and it's probably better for Todd Monken. Clean it out. This is Todd Monken's team now, and everybody can kind of move forward.
So what is still the most interesting element, I think at least, of Schwartz moving on, Matt, is what it means for Myles Garrett. But I guess the question, and this is something that Joe and I keep debating, so I want to get your thoughts on it, is I would be okay with Cleveland moving on from Myles Garrett. Easier to say for me, right? It's not my franchise. It's not, maybe the best player, or one of the best players, I should say, in the history of the Browns, right? Where would you land on the idea of Cleveland willingly or acquiescing if it was a trade request from the reigning now Defensive Player of the Year?
I said they should have traded him when he asked for the trade request. Literally, it was a year ago yesterday or a year ago Wednesday. He asked for it, and I said they should have traded him then. This is the fallout from Deshaun Watson. It was going to take you 3 years, probably 4, and really 5 to dig out of this hole. Myles Garrett's not getting any younger. He is in the prime of his career, and I know he, came back and he signed that long-term extension and highest paid defensive player, non-quarterback in NFL history and all that. But I think there's going to be a point that it doesn't matter. I argue with so many people about this, guys, when he first made the request, and they go, well, they'll pay him. And I go, look at Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley left a destitute franchise, and in his first year won a Super Bowl. All these other star players are going to look around and go, yeah, the money's not worth it. To waste my career, you're already going to make a ton of money. It doesn't matter where you go. You might as well sacrifice some of that and go win a championship. Like, I'm legitimately floored that Myles signed that extension and came back to the Browns, and the Browns didn't trade him. I'd have done it last year. Now, that being said, yes, he is single-handedly really won games for the Browns, which is crazy to say as a defensive player. That's how good he is. And it would rock the franchise. The fan base would be so upset. But I think there's a lot of merit to thinking about it, because if you'd just done it, you had the extra draft ammo, you could do the rebuild right. Trying to keep him around the Browns, he honestly might not be here by the time the Browns are relevant, just because he might be retired at that point by the Browns finally turning it around.
That's a great point, Matt. And you brought up Deshaun Watson. Every time I look on social media, he's in another country vacationing. Is he coming back? And is Shedeur Sanders, in fact, the guy for this organization, at least in 2026?
I expect Watson back just from a money standpoint. There's really no incentive for them to cut him again. They have to eat the cap space. They'll have to do it again when they kind of re-roll the money back over and all that. But I do expect Shedeur Sanders to be number one into the offseason. I don't think the Browns are going to draft a quarterback. I don't think they're going to go the Mac Jones, Kirk Cousins type of route. I think Todd Monken partly was brought in here to try to develop Shedeur Sanders. Now, I'm extremely skeptical that that's going to happen, but I'm fine with him starting the season or starting the offseason as the number one. And then, much as I don't want to say it, if it goes bad, then you just turn it over to Deshaun Watson. and see what he's got left in the tank. Like, nobody expects the Browns to be able to compete very much next year anyway. So I'd roll with Shedeur. You still have Dylan Gabriel. I know people are trying to pin that on Kevin Stefanski. He's not here, so maybe Gabriel won't be here. I don't know. But yeah, I totally expect Deshaun Watson to be here. But I do think Shedeur Sanders should be at least the number one quarterback entering the offseason.
And one more thing, Quinshon Judkins, is he on schedule to at least be ready for week one or middle part of the season?
Yeah, we haven't had really any updates. Somebody said they saw him still in a walking boot this week, but because he had two injuries, he dislocated his ankle and he broke his leg on that play. But at that point, the doctor said he should be ready to go for training camp. We haven't really heard anything else, so fingers crossed on that. We hope so.
With Matt, just lastly on the Browns of it all, right? And I don't know, this might sound a bit silly, and maybe I'm creating something a little bit, but the Todd Monken hire obviously was a surprise. It turns out that was also a major surprise to the Giants, who clearly had no backup plan in place for Monken getting the job. I have read that as Harbaugh didn't want to have one because of his belief in Monken. Have you taken away anything, and maybe you disagree with the evaluation, of just the fact that the Giants they ended up having to go to Matt Nagy, and all the Giants beat reporters are like, hey, I know this stinks, but they'll fire him if he's bad.
And I think it's crazy because Monken's taking assistant coaches now too. There was assistant coaches that were supposed to follow him to the Giants, and now they're coming to Cleveland, so they're kind of scrambling on that. Yeah, I think 100% Harbaugh what does that say about Todd Monken? Like, Harbaugh really didn't believe he was going to get the job. And he's like, yep, just come join me over here with the Giants. And he got it. So, yeah, probably, I don't know many people that would have more insight to the NFL than John Harbaugh, and he misread that. So, yeah, the shock was certainly there. I mean, once I take a step back, offensive-minded guy and a veteran coach, I think that's really what the Browns wanted. And especially, I was at the instructor press conference on Tuesday. Guys, it was made clear and apparent that one of the best things about Todd Monken, he wasn't Kevin Stefanski. So there's why he's the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Matt Fontana, host of the Matt Fontana Show, does an excellent job covering all things Cleveland sports, and I know he is ready to bet Super Bowl 60, as are we, so we get back into the anytime touchdown market after a quick break here on SportsGrid.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the number one pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Masam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like, I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields, because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro football today here on SportsGrid, diving into the anytime touchdown market, just seeing how far down the board we're willing to go, kind of that 10-1 range, give or take. Darnold, Kai Williams, Jake Bobo, Jack Westover. This is where you hang out, which is this, right?
What?
How far down the board are you willing to go?
You know where I am. I mean, I haven't pulled the trigger on Akers yet, but I've been having more and more premonitions that this guy's going to get more burn. I read just so you know, I do my own research. I went back to the game with L.A.
Okay.
And was reading multiple reports and from the local reporters.
Yeah.
That said him and Holani had specific packages in that game.
Okay.
And I just find it ironic that they would put that out and then not utilize them, right? But now with 2 weeks of preparation, I'm more inclined to think that they do utilize them in this type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Kev, we're not talking for this guy to run for 100 yards.
No.
1 yard, you get 2 to 1.
I understand.
I mean, just give him some burn. Give this guy some burn.
I will say.
I want to dive over that. Give me the ball for Cam. I'll get that yard.
You'll die for this guy. That's your man. That's your man the whole way.
This guy is like, this might be I can't believe I'm saying this. I can't parlay. I look for him for 10 on FanDuel. No, they have him for a yard at 2 to 1. But if you could get one, you could get 10.
Can I ask you, though, because we've been putting Akers, I think rightfully, side by side with Holani. What do you expect from Kenneth Walker in this game?
I told you, it wouldn't shock me if Kenneth Walker is anywhere from 15 to 20.
Carries.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could see a world where, as well, I could see a world where he gets 11 carries because it's Darnold, and the attack. It wouldn't shock. Kev, I think early on it wouldn't shock me. I told you, I think Seattle could be has the benefit of being or trying to run the football early, right? And seeing if they have success with Walker the way they did against L.A. I do not feel that New England could do that. And I told you why. We talk about the likelihood of that happening.
Yep.
28 teams over the past couple of years have tried to establish the run.
Mm-hmm.
In the biggest game of their life now, I don't think you're going to be able to start the game that way.
Right.
So I think New England needs to be more aggressive where Kenneth Walker could have success early on like he did against the Rams, and then all of a sudden, game on.
So my thing with Walker is...
My band would be like 11 to 22. I don't think he gets 23-plus carries in this.
I think the evidence is there that they have no interest in giving Kenneth Walker a bell cow workload.
Okay.
Whatsoever.
Okay.
Uh-huh. That evidence seems to be there pretty confidently. Okay. This is my thing with the Super Bowl, and some people won't like this, but at the end of the day, what's not going to happen is you just come in and you just win every bet. You just clean up. They all come in.
No?
What I mean is Walker, JSN, Stevenson, May, Darnold. Hey, okay. So,
this is like shooting fish in a barrel.
Someone who was Twitter, someone was like, I'll tell you what, man, if you didn't make money in a Rams Seahawks NFC title game, you're gonna have to delete the apps. Okay, Puka, Adams, Kyron, Walker, JS. No. Wait, I was pretending you did make money in the game and slam Terrence Ferg. My point is here in the Super Bowl, right? I'm not saying things can't come in. I'm not saying the game can't be explosive. What I'm saying is there are going to be the Super Bowl's the Super Bowl, and people step up and they just go, bing, parlay, bing, parlay. I got 4 legs. How does this lose? Right? We know someone like, how does this lose? Oh, thanks. Was that the whole? How long did you spend on that? How long did you spend giving me that? You're telling me he doesn't get 50? Kenneth Walker, I believe, is a very talented football player.
Yes.
I think he, though, is a bit of a, call it a big house, high ceiling, low floor type of situation, right? And this is a guy who had 19 carries against the Niners and the Rams. and had a 54-yard gap in those games. So you need a great script in order to get – yeah, there you go. You need a great script to get to that 19-carry mark.
Uh-huh.
But you also still need him to be efficient. And I think, Joe, the game against Carolina, where he went 15 for 51 without a touchdown, could absolutely be on the board.
Yeah.
So Walker is a guy I back away from entirely in the game because I think that you do want to run against the Patriots. The Seahawks have not had a very efficient run game this year.
So do we believe it's Helani?
So this is the other This is why we've ended up doing this all week long. Helani has had some horrific showings this year, efficiency-wise. His NFL career, he's 3.3 yards a carry. I'm sorry, this isn't Boise State. What do you want from me? Maybe just give it to Akers 4 or 5 times. Run it!
I mean, should I hammer this 2-1 now? I mean, 1 yard? What happens if Walker... I'm not suggesting...
with the...
Tweak something.
Right.
They're going to go the whole game with this Helani? Seriously?
What if Akers gets 20 carries?
But,
scores a touchdown.
He's 18-1 to score. I got to take him.
That's where I think you've jumped the ship a bit.
I got to write this down.
But this is also something that then circles back into just the, it's identifying the workloads, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, here's the other thing that, again, like no one is ready for. No one. What if the Patriots are up 10?
Yeah.
Well, then what if Darnold has to throw the ball 30 times, 35 times, 40 times? Like, what's that going to look like? JSN 200. It's like, oh.
Barner.
Bobo. Akers in the receiving.
You get me all juiced up. I really like 35-24 as a final. Give me the over. I got a 18-1
What's
with
it
this
say above
Akers.
that?
18-1.
What is that? What is that? What is it? Akers anytime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I picture this kid. What's his number? Is it 22?
Oh, I mean, maybe.
I need to know.
Cam Akers week. It's almost done. We'll be right back here on SportsGrid.
30?
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. That's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi, talking through some of the options here for Super Bowl 60. Joe, we have not talked much about it, but it's a market that you're always prepared to corner.
Mm-hmm.
Gatorade color.
Love it.
Can we pull up the Gatorade color odds if you have them in the back? Because the laptops are a little wonky on getting these guys up. So yellow or lime trending at the top of the market.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, that's typical if you like Seattle, I guess.
Is that the thought process?
We see some movement, fluctuation, purple going for the trifecta down $1.50. It was $7.50 most of the week. We're trending at 6-1 now.
Mm-hmm.
So some money's coming in. I like purple. I think whenever you get an opportunity for a trifecta, that's always intriguing to me.
Yeah.
I think the long shot now is red-pink. You were getting an 11-1 number. You've cracked double digits. You're back down to 9-1.
Yep.
So this market is heavily involved. I mean, a lot of money coming in on the Gatorade color. If you're not going to win the game, you could still win after. That's the way I like to look at it.
Can I ask you an annoying question?
Most are annoying, but I'm just kidding.
That's fair.
All right, Ken.
You ever surprised that we can bet on the Gatorade color on?
I think it's one of the most fixable things.
Like all major sports books, they're like, "Yep, Gatorade color, no problem."
Yeah, no problem.
No problem. A thing that's entirely based on gut or knowing someone, we'd love to let you in on that market. That's a little bizarre to me.
I know, but you
like
know,
orange.
I don't like the orange. Orange plus 290.
Right. I'll play that game with you then. I hear low. All right, so the max you can bet it for is 323 on the orange. So basically, they cap you out at winning $1,000
on the Gatorade.
But on a Gatorade, you wouldn't be upset to come away with that.
No, I hit it 2 years ago with the purple.
But
it was an 11-1 number when I think it was when Brady. It was when Brady.
I worked the Super Bowl with you once.
That was
before we were best friends.
That was the year before. That was when you went out to L.A., Cincinnati, and Joe Burrow in L.A.
Yeah.
And everybody was wearing purple.
Yep, and then there were commercials where people were wearing purple, and you
was
were
on,
live
which
betting
just
purple.
shows you.
Yeah.
I'm ahead of the curve.
Okay.
Because then 2 straight years after that, the purple's coming.
But you like red pink. I have another question for you.
Go ahead, ask away.
The Gatorade that gets dumped is the Gatorade that throughout the game they drink?
I have no idea. Not necessarily.
Like the Gatorade.
Well, they take one of the buckets.
Okay, all right. Let's. Okay. Does each team only have one flavor of Gatorade on the sideline?
No.
So it's
I don't think they have a buffet. I don't think it's like Denny's, where hey.
You drink Gatorade?
Yeah.
Why do you say it like that?
Well, come on.
Why do you say it like that?
Athlete.
Have you ever met yourself?
What are you talking about?
Have you ever met yourself? That I would assume the answer to that would be, of course not. You drink Gatorade? Last time you had a Gatorade? This year?
This week.
Really?
Yeah, at the gym.
So that's where you let yourself go?
What are you talking about? Gatorade Zero, no carbs. What?
They ain't dumping Gatorade Zero.
How do you know? They specifically say it's the one. Here's the thing: when you're on the field, you need the sugar. You need the sugar. So it's probably regular Gatorade, but it doesn't matter. The Zero and the regular Gatorade come in all the same flavors. It just shows that you're not a Gatorade guy. You're not. Arctic Ice is my favorite. What's yours?
Honestly, they're all. You got the red is kind of the bar. Glacier Freeze is always a treat. You can get the blue, which is also pretty good. I'm not mad at a grape. I actually think the red Gatorade Zero is pretty tasty, personally, if I'm ever going to watch what I'm eating. But
so
you know
I'll tell you what. I had a family member.
I had a good January.
Back in the day.
No congrats from you.
No.
None. No, couldn't. Yeah, all right.
Well, used to drink. This is similar. Hawaiian punch with Chinese food, the chicken and broccoli.
You know what? I'm not mad at that.
Not a good mix.
Why?
Hurt the stomach.
Nah, that's someone who's built to last. I like. Who's that? Who is this? Is it a friend of yours? You
Cousin.
said? Cousin?
Yeah.
Got moxie.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'll introduce you in the offseason.
Bigger guy?
No.
Really?
No.
Really?
Actor.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a little weird?
Well, we're all weird in our
No, but you like, is he a little like when he comes around? You're like, ah.
No.
You're excited to see him.
Yeah.
He's not watching.
No, he's not watching now.
Interesting.
I think he's in Miami now, filming.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And he's still ripping Hawaiian punch in Chinese?
Yeah.
I
don't like the red. I don't like the red Gatorade.
I'd like to get this guy on if we could. I'd like to get this guy on. I got questions. Be right back.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bond. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro football today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi. We head out to San Francisco where Ben Rolfe is live covering Super Bowl 60. He is with, of course, the Pro Football and Sports Network. These guys have been joining us all week long, helping us kind of break down the big game here between the Pats and the Seahawks. So, Ben, give me what's the sense you're getting out there from the people you talk to, expectations-wise, for the game on Sunday?
I think everybody is leaning towards the Seahawks. They're taking that safer side of things, it feels like. It's really only the bolder guys that are calling the Patriots.
So do you find people are the belief in Seattle is all of the trust in this team and what they've shown, or is it a lack of trust in New England who didn't really impress as much through their path to this game?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of both. Like, people don't believe that New England have, should we say, earned their way here. They've played the easiest schedule in the regular season. They've then had a lot of luck through the playoffs with CJ Stroud's meltdown, Justin Herbert not being able to complete passes, and then obviously losing Bo Nix. And I think people just think that Seattle's the more tested team.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is some... Again, New England was tested in their road here, right? But obviously they maybe didn't answer the tests as glowingly as we wanted. Ben, what is your expectation really for this one? Are you kind of then on that same side, thinking that the Seahawks will be the group to get it done?
Yeah, I have the Seahawks 27, 24, 27, 23, something in that kind of region, 3 to 4 points. Mm-hmm. And I'm a big believer that if I'm a Seahawks fan, the way I want this to fall is I want this to fall that I have the lead with 2 minutes left, and it's Drake May with the ball, and it's my defense that's trying to put it away rather than being 23-20 down and Sam Darnold trying to drive to win the game.
Yeah, it's interesting, though. Darnold, I think, has gained a ton of supporters, Ben, right, in the build-up to this game, and people have been impressed, of course, what he did in the 2 games that they were victorious against the Rams. I'm wondering if anyone you spoke to recently last night, the awards that we saw, though, Jackson Smith-Njigba winning Offensive Player of the Year, does that maybe feel like the trump card in this game that the Seahawks have now? What is the Offensive Player of the Year? And position player-wise, New England, not so much?
Yeah, I think as great as Stephon Diggs and those guys have been efficiency-wise, nobody can take over a game for New England quite the same way that Jackson Smith-Njigba can. And also, Jackson Smith-Njigba was probably the only receiver in this game that you have to scheme your defense around. Like, New England have to look at putting Carlton Davis and a safety on Jackson Smith-Njigba to try and force Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed to beat them.
So, Ben, I do want, because I think this will be the last time this week we speak to the group from PFSN, and it's really been great. We were able to talk to Kyle, I know, earlier this week. Can you give people an idea of some of the coverage and everything that's going to be available, even in the remainder of the week over there from you guys at PFSN?
Yeah, a lot of our coverage will be kind of split between social and the website at profootballnetwork.com. We'll have our previews and stuff like that up there, and then a lot of informational content around the Super Bowl, trying to fill those gaps, when you're watching the Super Bowl and something doesn't quite make sense that you haven't seen all year because you've been watching Red Zone or whatever. We do a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's a lot of what our coverage is. As I say, we're going to be over at the USAA Lounge today, tomorrow, getting some interviews with some of the players over there, hopefully getting some interesting stories from them that we can put on the site.
And then maybe, let the people know one of the better kind of conversations that you guys have already had out there. I know it's been a loaded week over at Radio Row.
We've spoke to a lot of good guys. We ran into Doug Flutie earlier. He's got split allegiances. I think he thinks the Seahawks, but he's a New England guy. He's from that area of the country, but obviously he's a ex-Buffalo player, so he doesn't want to see New England win at the same time. So it's an interesting split for guys like that. He's probably the most interesting guy we spoke to this week. But yeah, we spoke with Alex Highsmith, Jonathan Hankins, those guys, and they've been really entertaining guys.
Yeah, that is awesome. So make sure you check out everything that they've been doing over there, again, at PFSN. It's been fantastic all week long to talk to you guys. Ben, we really appreciate it.
Thank you. No, appreciate it.
Make sure you guys follow Ben over on Twitter at BenRolfPFSN and continue to stay up to date with what those guys are doing over there out in San Francisco. Back here on the desk, joined, of course, by Joe Lisi, as we've been all week long. Joe, the interesting thing, again, as we talked to even the people who were there, Seattle. No budge?
Are they betting?
Yeah. Well, does that matter?
It does matter.
Does that matter?
Yeah, it matters.
It's just it's about the.
Okay, so let me
fine. How about
let me twist it.
Go ahead.
When the Patriots were dominant team with Belichick, every time they made the Super Bowl, wasn't everybody Patriots? No.
And you're saying that they still won the Super Bowls?
Yeah. And Mahomes.
No, I don't know if that's true. I think things could.
Last year they got clipped, but besides that,
I've asked you this a few times. Okay. Do you feel this week the split has been very heavy towards Seattle? The people that we've spoke to. Leading into this game.
They say, yes, but
again, people are lying to you.
No, money talks and the other stuff walks, right? So I know everybody. Oh, Seattle should win. Seattle, I put $100 or $1,000. Back it up with that statement. So no, look, they could say 70%, and again, Kev, it doesn't. Throughout the regular season, throughout the playoffs, I'm a side guy. Side in totals, right?
Yeah.
Along with props.
Yeah.
This side, I lean to the Seahawks, but it doesn't faze me if I'm wrong. I think Seattle's the right side. I think Seattle's going to win.
Yeah, but
my play is the over. I'll say this again. The over and all the props that Bazooka Joe is going to put out.
Listen, okay.
You're going to get me with the perception and, all right, the perception. Wheel grid.
This is all I am saying, because sometimes you get hung up on things where you're not going to budge. And I know I do too, okay?
Okay. I'm not budging.
Hold on a second, though. But you, though, occasionally are unwilling to budge on some things that are fact. And here is a fact. The Seahawks are the popular side in this game.
Okay, that's fine.
Overwhelmingly popular side.
Yeah, you know what?
No?
Mush, yeah. I think all even the mushes are on that. Look, there are times.
You said that you know other people who are on New England. I don't know who else likes New England. I'm trying to. Can you just tell me? I don't know. You know, would you be blowing up anyone's spot? Like, again, outside of Patriots fans, like, do you know someone else that's? What are you trying to Google?
No.
People who bet New England? What are you doing over there?
No, I'm looking at stuff. What are you talking about?
Oh, am I interrupting your research?
No,
that's on me. Am I interrupting your breakdown?
No, not at all.
Why won't this get down to 4? When's it gonna move then, bro? When's it gonna move,
bro? Look, they're begging you to take New England.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Yeah, they are, because they need people like me.
Right. So.
But they're begging New England to cover this game, please. Please.
They could get smashed.
Who?
New England.
Probably not.
35-24.
So then lay it. Oh, yeah. Don't do this again.
What?
Don't do this with the final score. Don't do this with the final score.
35-24.
Why are you doing this with the final score? Really?
These guys.
All right. I will say this, okay?
Go ahead.
Lisi has promised me all week that this line could fall back to 3.5.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm thinking it might close 7. I mean, at this
7?
rate,
You're crazy.
Well, it's just crazy. It doesn't feel that crazy. If you think it's gonna close 2.
I have a bridge to sell you too. If you believe everything you hear.
Pro football today on SportsGrid. We'll be right back.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like, I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields, because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid, taking a look at some of the different options here for Super Bowl 60. Maybe sell Joe on a couple of the bets that I like outside of New England because I've just got no chance at getting you in the mix on that.
You have no chance, I don't think, to start. I mean, I'm going to start the Billy Club you early now. We're inching closer to kickoff. This is it. You got no shot. I didn't want to tell you that, but good luck.
Can I just tell you this?
Sure.
You keyed in on the wrong thing. And I worry for you because you're going to find a way to mess this thing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Akers, couple carries. Kyle Williams, couple grabs.
Wow.
And then you're going to somehow talk yourself into this Seattle -6.5 alt line. And we know your history with alt spreads. We do. We've seen it. You've ruined franchises with that decision. So, can I get you in?
Yeah, tell me what you got.
On any player to have 100 receiving yards, -138.
We said yes. I said yes earlier in the week.
But are you going to bet it?
Not running to the window for it.
But it's a good number.
It's a great number.
So you don't love it?
I mean, when you say don't love it, don't love the number? Or don't like the bet?
Like, it's not going to actually make your card. Can't parlay it. Doesn't move the needle.
When there's one game, I mean, right now, I'm going for the lottery ticket. I am with one game left. I'm sorry. I'm going big and look.
Let's pull up this novel.
Last year it was Saquon in the receiving game and Jahan Dotson, and I cashed those tickets.
Yeah.
I should have taken the Eagles. I didn't. I liked them, and I had the over.
Okay.
So I mean, what more?
Do you like the coin toss?
Nah. I like the Gatorade. Purple.
7-1. I can get you.
All right, it's a good number.
All right, how about this one? Jersey number of first touchdown score.
Over 11.5.
Whoa. I can get you 10.5. -160.
What do you mean 10.5?
I can get you 10.5, over 10.5.
Which includes JSN.
Yeah, wait. Why do you like over 10.5?
11.
Or 11.5?
Because I don't think it'll be.
Who are the lower guys? Walker?
Walker's 9.
Cup?
May is
right?
10.
Okay.
Cup is 10. May is 10.
Yeah.
And then we're talking Ramondre Stevenson, the tight ends. Barner's 88. Henry's 85. Booty is 9. Diggs is 8.
So some of the past
Shaheed
wide
is double
receivers
deuce.
Where
Kyle Williams is 13. Yeah.
So it's
I think Kyle Williams, I'm going to say this right now. I'm going down big. Kyle Williams could be the first touchdown scorer in the game. I just have a premonition of Kyle Williams hitting a 50-yard bomb, and I start out of the gate right like 50. You give me the yards, you give me the touchdown, and then game on. Then Lisi's involved in the Super Bowl. Could be. I just have this premonition of Kyle Williams being the first touchdown scorer in the game.
Okay.
And yeah, I took him.
How do you feel about over 2.5 players to have a pass attempt +160? Cooper Kupp.
Everybody's on this Kupp.
Cooper Kupp was tweeting out photos of him throwing. I don't think it means a thing. But I still think it could come in. Does it do anything?
Nah.
QB to have a catch, 11-1.
What did Sammy say?
Who cares?
Oh, 8. Same thing. He's over 13. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. You know what, Sammy?
Can you not do the show with the producer who no one else can hear? Is that all right with you or no? Really?
He's antagonizing me.
Okay.
Go ahead. I told you what I like.
QB to catch a pass. Oh, so you're done. Oh, you know what? You told me what you like. You're done.
QB to catch a pass. I don't like that bet.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you, if there was a QB to catch a pass, which one do you think it would be?
It's a huge gap between May and Darnold.
Gap.
Huge.
Oh, come on.
You think Darnold could catch a pass?
Yeah, I think Darnold is sneaky athletic.
Has he ever caught a ball in his life?
Probably not.
You went probably not?
Sneaky athletic.
You didn't even...
Sam Darnold is going to score in this game, too. Kyle Williams, Sam Darnold.
Darnold's not scoring.
No? No. He's plus 850 to score.
Okay.
I like that value.
He's never had a reception.
So what?
What about back in college?
Here we go. Keep going. Scroll.
I'm just trying to find it. You. With
I mean,
all these
really,
things.
I like fourth down conversion. Nah, that's not good. My team to.
You like the next gen stats, fastest ball carrier?
Nah, that's garbage. That could be. That's garbage. It's garbage.
Hold on. Finish the thought.
Could be fixed. It's a. I'll tell you what. Let me ask you this.
So good.
Do you bet on the home run derby?
Yeah.
Okay, with the longest fly ball, and all of a sudden, first of all, the camera guy is on the left, the ball's straight ahead. Yeah, we go up to 454. Yeah, I looked about 413.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all of a sudden we have the state-of-the-art technology, but we can't get it down. The guy hit the top of the stadium. It's like 385 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna bet on next gen stats.
Why not?
He was running 28 miles an hour faster than a Lamborghini.
Look at this. Look at this. Ready? Combined.
He was running faster than a racehorse on that touchdown. Oh my! Oh man!
Combined.
Everybody on Monday. That's what everybody on Monday is going to be. The recap show.
No, not you and recapping the Super Bowl. You know you don't like that. How about this one?
Dad.
Combined Super Bowl points and USA gold medals at the Winter Olympics. 60 plus at even money.
Say that again. Combined points and
combined points
right in the game.
The total
59
and USA gold medals. 60 plus even money.
I like that. I like the over.
It goes up to 80, 9-1.
I got to look now. Here's the problem with the USA for gold medals.
Yeah.
We don't have a good bobsled team. And here's the problem. We don't. On a four-man bobsled, what does the third guy do but tuck? Why can't I do that job? All he does is run and tuck. I could do that job. The third man on the 4-team bobsled does absolutely nothing. How do you sign up for that job? I'll take it. I'm not kidding.
There's no way.
Yeah.
The over for USA gold medals appears to be 12.5.
48.
Minus 1.
48, 46. They're trying. Over. That's a no-brainer. Alt that to 75.
All right. Well, now we're cooking.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bond. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro football today, and it's really kicking off now.
It is.
We've really started to hit our groove. Gold medals and points. We feel good about this. How high do you want to take it? Gold medals and points.
Take it at 80.
9-1.
All right.
That's where we are. All right, let's see what we got here. I got to make sure things don't expire, if you catch my drift. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's understandable.
There's some college, MMA, NBA.
Yeah.
It's not your bag. Ant Edwards, points, bounds, assists versus Drake May, rushing yards. It's not bad.
Yeah.
That's
Ant
not
takes
bad.
nights off lately.
Yeah, but he's playing Sunday against the Clippers. Could be a big spot for him.
What time?
Earlier.
A lot of eyes on him.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
That's kind of a prime game. Let's
Yeah,
take a
it's
look.
almost-
Might be onto something here.
Ant
Here we go.
Ant for 40.
Here we go. Keyshawn Booty receptions or Jaylen Brown 3-point field goals. Knicks Celtics 12:30 Sunday.
Knicks are back up to 33 and 17, huh? Weren't they running that coach out of town now? All of a sudden, Brunson found his groove.
All right, how about this?
Trying to ship out Cat.
I might be able to get you on this.
Okay.
Mac Hollins receiving yards versus Kawhi points versus the Wolves.
Kawhi takes off.
Really?
He's allergic to the glass too.
But
The kid for his size,
it's not.
I don't know if he breaks out in hives if he gets too close, but he's. I mean, to think that this guy led Toronto to a championship and he's afraid of the glass at his size, somebody's got to talk to him. Seriously, I know injuries, but come on, kid, bang the glass a little bit. Show a little body English. Show some heart.
All right, great breakdown. Cat points. Or Pat's total points. Towns.
I feel like this should be all you. You're all in on the Pats. No doubt about it. 24 plus.
No, you're right.
You should. I mean,
I'd like Cat to go head to head with the Seahawks points. They wouldn't see that coming.
Cat takes too many threes.
No, you're not wrong about that. Oh, here we go.
God.
Oh, here you go. Oh, look at this free money.
God,
Look at this free money.
Free money. God, what do you got?
Trevion Henderson rushing receiving against Siakam, points scored.
Siakam's terrible.
Siakam against the Raptors, his old team. Minus 130 Siakam. You can print that ticket. I mean, Henderson might get zero. Henderson might get zero. Siakam. Now we're talking. Bing, bang, boom. Simple as.
Yeah, well, you got it all figured out. I love when you become a wheel and a guru. You have it all figured out. You have the answers before the test.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, how about this? Total sacks. 5.5.
Under.
Joe?
Under.
Might be sharp. Let me ask you, right?
Okay.
Let's go.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of sacks in this game.
Drake May has been sacked exactly 5 times. All 3 games. Only 5.5?
Right.
Right? Could be an under sacks.
Under sacks.
Under sacks.
Under sacks.
All right, so we might have something then.
I like under.
Over under 7.5 punts?
I hope. Under. 7.5?
Yeah. Is that a lot of punts? How many punts do you think there were in Rams
2
Seahawks?
Probably
2? There were, no. Total wheel answer. Is that right? The Seahawks punted 5 times in that game? Could that be?
Yeah, maybe.
There were 7.
Oh, that's right, because the kid right bobbled it. Remember, he had bounced off his face?
Punts could be flying.
No, I hope no punts. Under punts.
Dickinson over the 3.5 punts could be a play.
I don't like that bet.
No?
No.
Really?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right.
I don't like it.
How did he punt 5 times in a game they scored 31? That's impressive almost. Pretty interesting. Any player to run for 100 yards plus 180?
No, I don't like that either.
I agree.
Go ahead.
First player to reach 10 rushing yards. Ken Walker's the favorite.
Where's Travion?
17-1.
Wow.
Really? What about Shaheed?
Now, Shaheed, they start the game with a reverse?
I think it's on the board. I think it's on the board.
All right.
You know what bet I'm secretly interested in that you talked about quite a bit?
Go ahead.
JSN on the ground. It's possible.
Reverse to start with JSN.
Player to record a 20-yard plus rush attempt. Henderson, 5-1.
I like that.
215.5 rushing yards in the game? Now, we got a lot to go through. NFL insider Adam Kaplan joins us next.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Andrei Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like, I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show. Only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on crap.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show. Only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi, head back to San Francisco. NFL Insider, Adam Kaplan. Cap, always great to talk to you. We checked in a little bit earlier this week with some of the different news stories we've been hearing across the league. We didn't get too much into the game. Let's just start with what you're hearing from people that you've spoke to out in San Francisco about the matchup of the New England Patriots up against the Seattle Seahawks group.
So, and this is interesting because it plays to the totals and the prop numbers. We'll talk probably more about that part, the prop numbers on Sunday's PFT. But getting Matt Collins back, remember he was hurt for a bit with an abdomen injury, but he's back. The way that you beat Seattle is, how do you do it? You throw the football deep against them. Josh Jobe, who came out of nowhere to be a starting quality corner. He was a number 5 corner for the Eagles, but he's done a great job, a former undrafted free agent out of Alabama. But Tariq Woolen, you saw Matthew Stafford pick on him, Kevin. So you want to know about the matchup? That's the way, as I've talked to a lot of people, I know the Patriots have probably looked at this as well. They're watching the tape. When you have the ball, you got to attack. You got to attack. It will be really hard for the Patriots to run on them. There's no question to me. They're going to probably throw the ball a lot. I believe they'll be behind at some point. And then, Kevin, to beat Sam Darnold, he doesn't do well when he holds on to the football. He gets indecisive. You saw it with the Jets, the Panthers. You saw it last year with the Vikings late in the season. But you know what happens now when you don't get to him? You saw what he did in the championship game, he was unbelievable.
Cap, I want to ask, out of the former players and current players that you interviewed this week, what was the perception of Drake May? And you brought up how New England's not going to be able to run the football. What do they feel like overall about this passing attack with Drake May entering this game going up against Seattle?
Joe, funny you mentioned that. Good question, because Brian Hoyer I've known for, 18 years, and Brian and I spoke at length about this. And one of the things that Brian talked about is how aggressive Drake May is for a second-year quarterback. He was in college, but you worried about the turnovers and would he make the right decisions? And the other thing, he said two things. For such a young quarterback to read his progressions well, Joe, and the other thing is you might be talking about the most accurate quarterback, but only in his second season. It's really incredible how well he's done. And Josh McDaniels, who I voted for Pro Football Writers Association awards as my assistant coach of the year, and he won the APs last night. The job that Josh McDaniels has done with him, to be honest with you, Drake May would not be nearly as good with another coach. Josh McDaniels, you could say what you want, guys, about him as a head coach where he's been awful. This guy has done one of the all-time jobs of developing a young quarterback.
Kev, that's interesting. You mentioned McDaniels winning the assistant coach of the year. Has there been any chatter in town about just the way all those awards broke, how close things were between May and Stafford for the MVP? Vrabel, of course, wins coach of the year for New England.
Honestly, Stafford winning was not a surprise. It's who I voted for. I know a lot of people, a lot of writers who thought Stafford was better. See, remember, Stafford, I believe, he didn't throw his first pick until after his first 28 touchdowns. That's pretty amazing this season.
Mm-hmm.
He was marvelous. Now, if we did Most Improved Player Award, it's Drake May. I mean, I cannot believe how good he is, Kevin. And look, give Mike Vrabel credit. Well, I also voted like the AP voted for him to be coach of the year. The fact that there was no micromanaging, there was no, how Pete Carroll micromanaged Brian Schottenheimer. A lot of these run the ball guys, they want to limit the dropbacks. He didn't do that. That is why they're here. You could say all you want, Kevin, about the schedule. They don't control that. I know it was a soft schedule. I get that. But we judge on results. And the fact that this team is in the Super Bowl after losing to the Raiders in week 1, are you serious? This is an amazing story.
It is, Cap, and we'll see if they could close the deal on Sunday.
Yep.
Christian Gonzalez going up against JSN. What are the players and what's the buzz around that matchup? Does anybody feel that at least New England could contain JSN to maybe 70, 80 yards, which it seems like no defense has been able to do?
Joe, I'm glad you brought. I can't remember the player that I talked to because I always like to when I go to these Super Bowls. This is my 25th at now Media Row. I just want to know, if it's defensive back, how would you handle it? And the problem with JSN is you don't quite know where he's going out of his breaks. I remember Paul Gunther, the former Bengals and Raiders D coordinator, tell me trying to cover Antonio Brown. It doesn't matter that he's not a speed demon, but it's in and out of his breaks. You don't know where he's going to go, left, right, or center. And you could double him, which they should do. Make A.J. Barner beat them. Was it fine tight end out of Michigan? Cooper Kupp was clearly near the end of his career. But to me, you've got to stop JSN. He sets it up. And then Kenneth Walker with the explosive runs. Now, but one thing I do want to remind you of, Zach Charbonnet tore his ACL, so he's out. He's an excellent pass protector. That matters in this game because New England has to find a way to get to Sam Darnold. If they do, this game is going to be really tight.
Yeah, I think, the Darnold of it all, Cap, is one of the most fascinating pieces because I feel right now, and I'm wondering if you would agree, if you ask people who's the better quarterback, I think Darnold might win the vote. And I find that to be fascinating considering Drake May just finished second in MVP, but I feel as if this postseason has just swung things so far the other way.
Kevin, the game that Sam Darnold had in the championship game, I just was, I got the game wrong. I picked the Rams, I'll admit it. They couldn't get to him. And even when they did, he threw with anticipation, which means you're putting it out to the pass target to go get the football in the beginning or in the middle of his route. That's just great high-level quarterback play. And then you always ask yourself, Kevin, what happened with Darnold late in the season with Minnesota where he was brilliant? You could have voted for the MVP until that. Mm-hmm. And then they moved on. And now you move on here. Now he had that game. He had 7 turnovers against the Rams, 4 in one game, all 4 picks. You never know when that's going to show up. And I was betting on that to show up in the last game. It didn't. Yeah. But in this game, New England doesn't have a great pass rusher. They get a great scheme. We were just talking about it. And Christian Gonzalez has got to be in a lot of man coverage against JSN. They have to play more man coverage than they used to, or they're used to doing it. Because JSN is a home wrecker. He may not be that fast, but incredibly strong. Right now, a top 3 route runner, and his numbers are just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's incredibly impressive when again, he takes home Offensive Player of the Year. Cap, I am curious, the Darnold of it all, right? Do you think this is going to impact how anything lands quarterback-wise this offseason? Because I remember, and you will as well, right? Josh Allen got off to such a slow start, right? And then obviously blossoms into one of the best quarterbacks in football. And when quarterbacks would have a rough first 18 months, we go, hey, Josh Allen didn't start great in Buffalo. Are we going to now get to a point where people go, hey, Darnold took 5 teams to figure it out. Why can't we give Mac Jones or Kyler Murray or Anthony Richardson, this Daniel Jones, all the rope?
Well, hey, but Baker Mayfield. I mean, Baker Mayfield's a perfect example of what you're talking about. Now, with Sam Darnold, to me, it's not getting down on himself when he turns the ball over. Because sometimes with him is, this, Kevin, and Joe knows this, watching football all of our lives, when quarterbacks start turning it over, sometimes the faucet doesn't stop. And that, to me, is what New England has got to get. If they could get a turnover early, that's when he presses. But when you look at that number, that 4.5 number, which almost every book is at, it's a very fair number. My opening line would have been 4, as I told you last week. 4.5 is very, very fair.
Yeah, I would agree with that, as well. I mean, it's the market has shown that's a fair number, right? That's why that number has settled in the way that it has. Cap, you have time to do another? You got to run out there in San Francisco.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Great. I do want to also. One of the things, it doesn't hang over the game as much, right? But of course, it's the fact that the offensive coordinator in this game, Clint Kubiak, is going to go to the Raiders, the first overall pick. There's still some coaching stuff that we're kind of, working through around the National Football League as well. And I think it's great to be able to check in with Kaplan out there as we kind of button up what we've been doing here on Pro Football Today. So let's take a quick break. We'll come right back and continue to talk to NFL insider Adam Kaplan here on SportsGrid.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like, I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. That's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Kevin Walsh, Joe Lisi, joined by NFL insider Adam Kaplan. Cap, I want to go still within this game, but kind of on the outer side. Clint Kubiak is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders head coach. You had given us the idea that, this wasn't a surprise to us, certainly here on the desk. One, I guess, the two-parter would be, does it have any impact at all on this game? But the second piece of it is, how excited do you think the Raiders are that they landed Kubiak in this coaching cycle?
Oh, I mean, huge, because every coaching cycle there's like a Ben Johnson or Sean McVay. Now, I'm not saying Kubiak wasn't that high, but this is the guy to develop a quarterback, and it's probable that Mendoza will go number one. I know the Raiders have to still get through the scouting process, but they need a quarterback, and this is the way it is. Ironically, I ran into Mendoza's agent about an hour ago. It's kind of funny how that works out. It's what happens when you're at the Super Bowl, but look, with Clint Kubiak, one thing he's got to be careful with, and Jonathan Gannon went through this. Now, the circumstances are a little bit different where the Cardinals contacted him illegally before the Super Bowl. You shouldn't do that. And Gannon claims had nothing to do with it. I never even thought about it. That's fine. But Clint Kubiak cannot. He needs to turn his phone off, because what happens is, Kevin, is coaches who want to get on a staff will give, hey, good luck, man, and hey, remember me after the game. He can't be thinking that. He can't be thinking that stuff on your question. Yeah. It's a great question. Can't be doing that. He's got a job to do here, and I know that Brian Hoyer told me this is a great story. Like, I never heard this before. I don't know if that it's out anywhere. So the Rams Patriots Super Bowl, when Brian won his Super Bowl ring, so that you only could scout what you see on tape. Wade Phillips put a completely new defense in for the Super Bowl, and he's like, oh boy. And Josh McDaniels said, okay, hang on. Or it was either Belichick or McDaniels, but they regrouped. They completely changed it. And that could only happen when you have your total focus on your question. You have to be totally focused, think about nothing else. And that, it's a good question, but the betting line is 4.5. The numbers, it's legitimate. I don't see it impacting, to answer your question, move this forward here, I don't see this impacting Clint Kubiak at all.
Cap, can I just stick on the Mendoza point of it all?
Sure.
And because the gap is so big between him and whomever QB2 is, it sets Mendoza up to kind of be an easy selection. But maybe we're too early in the process. Let me know if that's the case. Mendoza on his own merit, how do league sources feel around the prospect?
I've had this discussion. If we had a 5 or 6 quality deep draft first 50 picks, he would go somewhere in the 20s. It doesn't mean he won't be a superstar. Not saying that. You asked me the question. I'm already on that, because being that quarterback is the most important position in the National Football League. That's where I always start when I do my scouting intel and all that stuff. It's a major drop-off with the Oregon quarterback, Moore, not being in it. It's just a major – you're absolutely right. It's a major drop-off. He's a good prospect. He's got plenty of starts at 2 schools. That's not the problem. He's just not – he doesn't have a rocket arm, nice arm, accurate for some timing. And look, in fact, that'll make me probably want to go to their training camp in Henderson, Nevada, see Kubiak work with Mendoza. But that's another talk for another time. But yeah, overall, you want to know, he would go in the 20s. I'm on that. Yeah, but it doesn't mean he won't be very good. And when you need a quarterback, the Jets learned this with Mark Sanchez. Yeah, they got to 2 championship games with him, but they asked him not to throw the football. They handed off to Thomas Jones and went with defense. You don't ever want to have to do that with your quarterback.
No, you don't. And we'll see exactly what Mendoza does. I expect him to be number 1 overall. We'll see what the Raiders do. But, Cap, go back to Kubiak for a second, because Kevin and I have been on the desk saying, Kubiak really is like a chameleon in the game against the L.A. Rams, right? Where when Charbonnet goes down, they ran Kenneth Walker in the first half, but it was all Darnold in the second half. They really opened up the offensive attack and became more aggressive maybe than they were at the middle part of the season. Did you talk to anybody about why they made that transition? Was it due to the injury to Charbonnet?
No, for pass protection, that's a good point. But no, what happened was, I think as play callers, yes, Mike McDonald, he wants to run the football. He fired Ryan Grubb, his former offense coordinator. Grubb did a good job, but he wants it to be run based, like Pete Carroll, his predecessor. I mean, they want to run the ball, win with defense. But what happens is, when Stafford is lighting you up, you got to stay up with him. And I give Mike McDonald credit for not micromanaging. Kubiak did a great job, very aggressive, and they got the job done. And and with scheme and his ability to get it open. And Kenneth Walker's kind of come alive here because he was in that timeshare with Charbonnet. But pass protection is very, very important, as I told you weeks ago on Trayvon Henderson. That's why he's not in there. It's IDing pass rushers. It has nothing to do with his ability to actually block the guy, but understanding where they're coming and not going and all that stuff. And Josh McDaniels' offensive scheme for pass protection, I'm told, is really, really difficult.
Cap, I want to just and maybe we'll do it a little bit more Sunday, but where are you right now, Super Bowl wise? Like what you are expecting? Obviously, you're never afraid to give your picks, but like, have you kind of a final score? Like, where are you at right now here with the Seahawks against the Pats?
I'm leading heavily with Seattle. I know the money in the country is clearly on Seattle. Yeah, I'm definitely on them. Now, what could change my mind? If I hear something on Darnold's shoulder, that would concern me. I know it's just right throwing shoulder, but if I heard something on Drake May's shoulder, I would think 7 points would be great. If I heard something on Nick Amenwari, which is where I was going here, if his ankle's really bad, which he got hurt in late Wednesday's practice, that would concern me. He's a game changer. He's the next Kyle Hamilton. This kid's unbelievable. So that would concern me. But right now, they're clearly the better team. No offense to the Patriots, but you're talking about a much better roster. Darnold's playing out of his mind right now. I'm kind of shocked by this. Drake May's playing very well. And really, regular season, he hasn't been asked to do much in the playoffs. But I'm looking for a good game. I might be in the minority, though, Kevin, before we get out of here. Mm-hmm. I like the under. Now, I know anything could happen, but I like the under as of now.
Okay, all right. So we're going to get, and I'm curious where that total is going to settle up, something that Joe and I have been talking about a bit. NFL insider Adam Kaplan. Cap, appreciate it so much. We'll be talking Super Bowl Sunday.
You got it.
All right, great stuff there from Cap, no doubt about it. Likes the under right now.
No, I mean, I could see why. We've talked about the breakdowns. We've talked about how this game potentially could play out.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I think, we've heard it from a number of different people. If they're taking the 4.5, not a lot of people think New England wins a higher scoring game, even though Cap's on Seattle. I think we'll see. It comes down to Drake May. He's got to be aggressive. That offense needs to take shots.
Yeah, and I think that they will be ready to do just that. Let's put some picks on the board, not just us. After the break, right here on SportsGrid.
Saturday, February 7th, Conor McGregor will be in the building for Knuckle Mania 6. In the main event, heavyweights collide as champ Ben Rothwell defends against Andre Walsh. In the co-main event, we find out who's the #1 pound-for-pound bare-knuckle fighter in the world. It's Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hunt versus Dave Redneck Mundell. Plus, a heated rematch ignites as Tony Loco Soto runs it back with Ben the Bomber Bonner. And the women bring pure intensity as Jade Massam Wong faces Crystal the Rugged Beauty Pittman. For how to watch live, go to bkfc.com for more info.
How about selling it to a minority ownership group that could show the NFL is moving in the right direction? Hey, it's one thing to talk about black coaches in the National Football League. It's one thing to talk about black general managers. It's another thing to start talking about a minority owner owning the football team.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio. Only on SportsGrid.
Gosh, I really do like the storylines with these open field events. Like, I want us to expand these signature events to bigger fields because I really do like the Joel Damon story, the Andrew Putnam story. It's part of the PGA Tour and what makes it so good. So I don't know where they're going to eventually end up on all of this.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
They cheated.
No, they're not saying that. Well, they're not, but they're not really giving a reason on Kraft.
The only two of the voters I've seen, maybe it's more, came out and said why they didn't vote for him. And they said, I'm limited to 3 votes.
Yeah.
And I will always pick a player over a coach or an owner.
Right.
By the way, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because that's the guy saying, I'm not afraid of you knowing who I picked. I'm going to tell you why I picked him.
The Craig Carton Show, only on SportsGrid.
All right, let's make it happen here. Pro Football Today, Friday 5. We're putting picks on the board, not just our picks.
Everybody's picks.
Boys in the back as
We're
well.
not just telling you. We're telling everybody.
All right. Really, one of my favorite things in the world is to listen to you dissect other people's picks. Our picks are on there. Don't care. Let's start with your favorite, Kriskowski. Mac Hollins, 25-plus receiving yards, minus 114. Your takeaway. Give it to him straight. Don't hold back. Don't hold punches.
Chris, you got no shot.
Come on.
It's all right, though.
It's not right.
I don't like Hollins in the game.
But really, he's got no shot? You don't like Hollins? You don't like Hollins?
Yeah, you set me up for failure on
How?
This. Because, it's 5 against 1.
What do you mean?
Well, you put up the producers, and then you want me to critique it. Yeah, be honest. Be honest.
You can't say
just so you know, when we were out there, I interviewed Mac Hollins with Donnie.
Oh, so you're best friends?
Not that he's. Look, he made me money last week in the early game. He got the 51.
And now you've tossed him to the side.
And now I tossed him to the side. Chris, you got no shot.
Okay, so you're out on Mac Hollins.
Yeah.
Next one, Sam Yarnell, plus 304. Both drives to result in a punt to start the game. First drive results in a punt. Double punt.
Could be a 90-yard drive for one of these teams on the opening kick.
So would you say no shot again?
No shot. Look, Sammy, I love you, but plus 304, they saw you coming a mile away.
Really? So he's beat as well.
He's beat.
So 3 for 3 on being beat.
Yeah.
I'll say this: it's a good CLV ticket, I think, on the double punt.
Okay, feeling out process.
I think he's just cornered the market well.
Good. He did a good job.
It's not about all right.
I know you're on his shot. Good.
What?
I know you're on his side. You like Sammy.
I like everybody.
Debatable.
Okay, debatable, apparently. AJ's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm now realizing? If you did say, hey, each of you give the pick that Lisi's most likely to not like, I think they would have done it. He likes under the 45.5. Your thoughts? That's got to be a little concerning.
No.
You're an AJ guy.
I like AJ. I like AJ a lot. AJ knows that.
You're an AJ guy.
I am an AJ fan. I'm a Kowski and Sammy fan too, but just not. No. I love our producers. I really like AJ and respect the look.
That's the difference. From a betting perspective, let's call it what it is. If AJ's on something, you respect it.
Correct.
If Chris is on something, you start barking.
Get
you know
excited.
What I mean? Yeah.
I get excited. Like
Yarnell occasionally, I think you just tune out.
AJ was on, I think, the under in Seattle, if I'm not mistaken, Seattle-LA game. So how'd that turn out?
Is that true?
He was on one of the games that I was on the over, and it came through.
Maybe it was true, or
maybe
you just
it was
being mean?
I'm thinking it was one of the championship games. I don't know. Maybe he was on the under. Maybe he got it right. Look, he's not going to bat 1,000%. That's for sure. No.
Maybe the rest of his picks will be all right.
Right. Yeah, he could go 9 out of 10.
Oh, that's good, man.
All right, God. What's yours? I see the big plus 290.
Cooper Cup anytime touchdown plus 295.
Going back to the well with this Cooper Cup.
Yep.
All right. Okay. I mean, could be back in L.A.
Just say what you want to say.
No, it's got life.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's a tone change over the last 2 hours.
There you go. I think he's got life. He scored last week.
I don't have much interest in JSN. The Patriots allow significantly more passing touchdowns and rushing touchdowns.
I like Boner, but Cooper Cup's a viable option.
All right. Well, I think you're getting a really good number
Plus
on
265. You might have CLV in your back pocket.
It's very possible.
What's mine?
Well, you tell me. You tell me what yours is.
Kyle Williams.
20-plus receiving.
11-1.
You just got some new intel on Kyle Williams.
I did.
What was that intel? You want to tell everybody?
Do I have to? I don't.
Really?
I want to do it after the fact.
You want? You're kidding.
Look, I like Kyle Williams.
Yes.
Don't ask questions. How about that?
Interesting. New strategy.
You don't need to know why I like it. Either you respect it or you don't respect it. I don't need to tell you why.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why after it comes in. How does that sound?
And then you skip town if it doesn't. You just
Oh,
get
listen,
out of here if it
I just
doesn't.
get out of here.
Oh, my gosh, that's great.
You want me to tell you?
No,
I'll tell you.
No, please don't. No, go ahead.
He's a local kid. He's going back home.
We even sure that's true. You might have got your sports.
The disrespect. The disrespect.
From Santa Monica. Is that really close?
I'll accept it.
He was, I mean, that's at high school. He was born in Baltimore.
He's going back home.
Kyle Williams back to his roots.